So you want your reservists at Fleet Logistics Center, Jacksonville, to really get that big picture view of their role,
Well, Captain Dubé, you came to the right place.
huh? We're diving deep into two pretty important documents, actually.
Hmm.
The CNO's Navigation Plan for 2024
Right.
and the National Defense Strategy.
Yeah.
These both, believe it or not, directly tie into your goal of getting your reservists up to speed on warfighting readiness.
Absolutely.
By the end of this, I think your team will definitely see why.
For sure.
Let's kick things off with the why, like the core reason behind all of this. And that's where the National Defense Strategy comes in.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, what's the core message of this strategy?
Well, the National Defense Strategy, it basically lays out, like the biggest challenges, the most serious challenges to U.S. security. And then it goes on to say, okay, this is our plan to tackle these. One thing that's kind of interesting is that they update these strategies pretty regularly.
Right.
And the latest one from 2022, this one, it calls out China as the biggest pacing challenge.
A pacing challenge. Okay, now that sounds pretty intense. Can you break that down? What does that look like in reality?
It really is. It's a good way to put it, though. Intense. You know how in a race, like, imagine your opponent, they're not just trying to outrun you. They're, like, constantly innovating. They're always trying to, like, up their game.
Okay,
That's China.
got it.
They're building their military really fast. Like, their goal is to have twice as many warships as the U.S. by the year 2030.
Wow.
So that's a pacing challenge.
Sure.
An acute threat, they call Russia an acute threat. That's more like an immediate danger.
Oh,
So
right.
think of it like a fire that needs to be put out right now. That's Russia. But the strategy isn't just about reacting to these threats. It's about being proactive, right?
Right.
Deterring conflict, making sure we can win if we need to.
Okay, so the challenge is definitely defined here. We're talking about a rapidly growing opponent in China and this immediate threat, this fire that needs to be put out in Russia.
Exactly.
So how does the Navy plan to actually tackle all of this? That's where the CNO's navigation plan comes in, right?
Exactly. It's like, you need directions.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a map. This is the roadmap for the Navy,
Okay.
guiding how they're going to organize, train, get equipped to meet these challenges, and it links directly with the National Defense Strategy.
Okay, so we've got this roadmap. We know where we're going. How does this actually translate into action, though, for someone, say, at Fleet Logistics Center, Jacksonville, especially for reservists? What's their role on this roadmap?
That's what's so interesting about this, especially with a logistics unit. This plan really emphasizes readiness, modernizing, and having stronger partnerships.
Okay.
So for Fleet Logistics Center, Jacksonville, this could mean a few things. Okay, so imagine this. Making sure that critical supplies are deployed smoothly and quickly to the Indo-Pacific region where that Chinese Navy is operating.
Okay.
Or even maintaining all that complex equipment on the ships, ensuring that everything's ready to go no matter what comes up. These might seem like routine things, but they have a huge impact on whether or not the Navy can respond to a crisis or project power globally.
So even if you're not on the front lines, your role is still absolutely crucial to the mission.
Absolutely. And it goes even beyond just keeping things running. Remember how the plan talked about partnerships?
Yes.
Well, the Navy is really focused on working with allies like Japan and Australia to secure those supply lines in the Indo-Pacific. It's really important when you're operating so far from home.
That's a good point.
Logistically, it's a huge effort, right? This means that a logistics center, like the one in Jacksonville, might even find themselves working directly with these international partners,
Wow.
which plays a big role in strengthening those alliances.
So we've gone from this big picture national strategy, zoomed in on the Navy's plan, and now we see how even a reservist at a logistics center is plugged in. That is quite a connection.
It is.
Captain Dubé, we've unpacked a lot. Here's a thought-provoking question for you and your team to consider. We talked about how critical logistics is for projecting power and how those partnerships are becoming even more important.
Right.
What aspect of the CNO's navigation plan do you think might be the most challenging for a logistics unit like yours to prepare for, and why?
Keep that in mind as you continue your own deep dive into all of this.